Hi, Ratina. How are you? Thank you so much for sending in your next answers. Always a pleasure to read your writing. You write very beautifully. Now, let me see how I can help you here. Yes, you're writing to whom it may concern. That's okay. I would prefer, dear sir, or madam, this is more what you would look for in a letter, and then make sure you get your greeting correct. So I will put dear sir or madam. And then at the end, I would put, sorry, hang on, that should be, let's go back to italics. So, dear sir or madam is my suggestion there. And then if you're using that dear sir or madam, you should have yours faithfully. So you should have a formal letter, a formal ending. Okay, not regards. Make sure you get that right. It would be considered to be something you should get right at the level you are after. Okay, yours faithfully. Okay, and then your name. Okay, I'm going backwards here, but definitely I look forward to hearing from you soon. That's okay, but not the exclamation mark. That would be more kind of friendly. That is absolutely fine otherwise. So let's go back to the beginning. I'm writing this email with regards to the volunteer opportunity available with your organisation in Mumbai to teach English as a second language to children aged between 4 and 9 years old, and to contribute whatever little I can to society there. Okay, that's a really, really lovely start. I would say to society, not the society in general. Whatever little I can. Actually, I would say what little I can. Okay, what little I can to society there. But very, very nice start, very clear. You're showing the examiner immediately that you are responding. Yeah, why? And we're going to go into what your skills are. Okay, so with regards to the eligibility criteria mentioned on your company website, yeah, I do have 3 years of experience. Now, here by saying I do have, you're using the rather emphatic do, which is suggesting that maybe you didn't. So I don't think you need that. I don't think it does any harm at all, but you don't need to have it there. So I have 3 years of experience working with children. Better might be to say, oh, I already have. Yeah, I already have 3 years. That might be nicer. Working with children. Now you want children in general, not the children. The children would be the ones here, already here. This is children in general. As a language teacher, rather than with, you want to say at. Watch out those prepositions. It's a preposition of place. It's at an establishment. Okay. Additionally, I'm pursuing my master's in child psychology and hence aware about the child development theories, about. Yes, again, you don't need the because the is specifically child development theories that they might need you to have. This is here child development theories in general, and I would put them in capitals because it is a big thing. It's like a name, child development theories, as well as different types of questionly skills. And teaching strategies to assure that each and every child in my class learns. These are very long sentences. Hang on. Theories, as well as different types of questioning skills, maybe. Questioning skills and teaching strategies to assure that each and every child in my class learns, each child learns, okay, the required lessons to speak the language, learns, you don't need that. Okay, it's very long, this sentence, and it's almost too hard to get to the end. So, learns to speak the language fluently. Okay. Moreover, I volunteered before. I would say I've previously volunteered. We wouldn't really say volunteer before. You might say it in spoken English, but because this is a formal letter here, I previously volunteered with Teach India. I don't think you need that. So I volunteered before a couple of years ago. Is okay in speech, but in writing. Moreover, I previously volunteered with Teach India Company. So what's happening here is that you've got a couple of years ago is indicating the past simple tense, and you're using the present perfect, I have volunteered before. So the two of those contradict each other. So you could say, moreover, 2 years ago I volunteered with, that's finished time, that would be okay. Or I've previously volunteered, which suggests that you might do it again. So watch out these time indicators and matching it with the right tense. Okay, where I taught young adults between the age of 28 to 35. Yeah, which enabled me to teach people with teach students. I wouldn't say people, I'd go students with different age and ethnic backgrounds, with different age and yes, really interesting. I wouldn't really say young adults are that age. Young adults to me is younger than that, but I would say I would taught, let's get an adjective in there though, so instead of young, I would taught to underprivileged adults, so people who are not so lucky as you maybe. That might be quite a nice word in the context. And I'd go in here students. And then preposition of different ages, different age and different ages and ethnic backgrounds. Okay, just watch out for those prepositions. Okay, otherwise you're doing really, really well. It's lovely writing. Hence, I would love to be part of your of teaching the global language and elongating. So teaching and elongating. Do we elongate a chain of knowledge? I would say expanding the chain of knowledge. I don't think we elongate that. Expanding the chain of knowledge to children in India, to these children. So here you could be specific because it's the ones in their organisation. These children in India or any other country where people can benefit from my educational knowledge. Okay? New paragraph, new line. I'll be able for 3 weeks starting next month. Good. Here, I'm wondering if we could break up this paragraph. It's a very long paragraph in a letter. You probably would lay it out like that. Okay, you can see that looks a little bit clearer, a little bit easier for your examiner or your reader to read. Okay, otherwise, very, very nice. What I've done up the top here, you can look through this. Okay, level 10, highly effective proficiency in workplace and community context as opposed to effective. Now, it's a very subtle difference, this, isn't it, between effective and highly effective. For me, you are highly effective in this. Okay, you are absolutely getting the message across extremely well. Quite like to get rid of some of those little grammar errors in there. Okay, but the communication is excellent. Here, this you can go through really slowly. This is what the examiner is looking for. Okay, we talked about this the other day, but the coherence, the vocab, so precise ideas. Go through this. And highlight it, underline the most important things that you can see in here. Okay, combining words. So these are collocations, making sure that the words match, the words naturally go together. Okay, so have a look at that. I thought that you might find that quite useful to study. Okay, well done. I can send this back to you, this document actually, then you can print it out if you want to. Okay. Took 5 minutes. Yeah. So, I mean, again, I think there's a few little bits. You can see this is very long. I think the bits that you could cut a little bit in there. Okay. Here we go. The second one. You live in a small city. A local internet provider is provided to launch 5G. The company is conducting a survey to find out local opinion. You've answered the company should launch 5G for better communications. Secondly, you believe the introduction of 5G means more expensive internet services. Okay. So one or the other, choose the one you prefer and why. Personally, I think the faster internet connection is definitely a wise selection, even if it costs a little more. And this is for. I would add in that this is for several reasons. I think it's just slightly clearer. Is definitely a wise selection, even if it costs more, and this is for several reasons. It's a little bit more emphatic, it's a little bit helps on the organisation. First, as we all know, with technological advancement, the world has become a global village, good, which offers tremendous opportunities to people worldwide, in terms of socializing, education, and commercial trade. Brilliant. Commas in here. Okay. The commas are for not only breathing, but also just so your writing makes sense, because otherwise, with these very lovely long sentences, it can get confusing. Okay. However, that is not the case with people in my neighbourhood due to the slow connectivity of the internet. For example, my neighbour, whose son is a high school student, has lost interest in attending online classes as it takes forever to connect in the first place. Okay, here, as it takes forever to connect in the first place, you've got another very, very long sentence here, but I think we can be more concise. Okay, my neighbour, whose son is a high school student, has lost interest in attending online classes as, so we could change this around, connection, establishing a connection. Is lengthy. So you see what we're doing here, to establish a connection. These are words which naturally go together, is lengthy. So rather than having it takes forever, I'm getting in this nice noun phrase right at the beginning. Establishing a connection is lengthy, so this could go. And then only to be followed by, you could have here, whereafter, or after which, multiple disconnections or multiple, let's go interruptions rather than repeating. Multiple interruptions, hinder his learning experience. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so yours only to be followed by disconnecting multiple times throughout the class that hinders his learning experience is long. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, there's no mistakes in there, but just in terms of precision. Yeah. So after which multiple interruptions hinder his learning experience, and then because you've got a bit more space and have demotivated him. Yeah. Or significantly demotivated him. So then we've got the chance to get in a little bit more language in there. Okay. And then I'd have a new sentence here. These frustrating issues. And then definitely could, not can, be easily resolved. Now you're using the modal verb here, could, because it's a suggestion. Okay, these issues could easily be resolved with better communication. Okay, and then if you're going secondly, you need to have a new line. Secondly, if children are attending class online, that means there are no commuting expenses, which in turn, yes, okay, so you're addressing the point about better communications and you're coming back on this one. Rather than first, you could have first, as we all know. You could have, I think you need something stronger than secondly though here. So I would do an emphatic, furthermore. Secondly, it's okay to have both, but for me this is slightly more powerful and you're making a strong point. You want them to agree with you. If children are attending classes online, which means, or that classes online, this means actually, this referring back to this, means there are no commuting expenses, which in turn, now you could get this into the second conditional. So secondly, if children were to attend online remote learning classes. Yeah, so we're going into a second conditional. You've got the first conditional in here, but if you see what I'm going to do here, if they were to attend, so this is rather a nice passive infinitive as well, online remote learning classes, commuting expenses would be radically reduced, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so if they were, here's my past simple part of my second conditional, and here's the would be. Okay, radically reduced. Okay, both passives. So this is a second conditional with passive verbs, super good grammar. Okay, second conditional plus passive infinitives, just if you want to look this up. Okay, so the passives are very good for formal writing, which is what you're really showing here, isn't it? Okay. Hence, I would strongly suggest and prefer better connection. You could go option A for better connection, even though it's expensive. You need to have a new sentence, and even though it's expensive, it's definitely worth every penny. Good, you've got that idiom in there as well. Really nice work here. See how hopefully this feedback is helpful for you. It's really helpful for me being able to see where you're going on this. I think there's a few issues in here. If we're going to be super fussy, for me, you're just in between. Okay. I think if you take on board the corrections, you can get to the 10, but I'm not going to say that you're there yet, because this is a very, very high score. This is 7.5 in IELTS, which is very unusual. But you are so on the right track. Keep on going. Well done.